feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my previous subscribers, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be focusing on Liz Cheney and her election night loss and what the future holds for her. So if you kind of want to know a heads up of what we're going to be covering in today's video, just check the description below in the comment section. Everything is timestamped. If you're just only interested in a particular question I'm covering, other than that, let's just jump right into it. You're going to love this video. It's great. I did get a little bit of I can't even pronounce the word, but the word that I'm trying to look for is that I kind of got a little bit of a hint that she might be the one who takes down Donald Trump. So we're going to look at that today. That's why this video is going to be a little bit longer than initially anticipated, because I want to be able to answer the question that is really needed. We most likely will be doing a follow-up of like a part 2 in the future, so definitely keep an eye out for that. If you are watching this from the past, definitely go check out the new one. I'll put that in the link below whenever that comes out. All right, so this video is being recorded on August 18, 2022 at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't believe me? Well, don't worry, I got you. So here is the time that I am doing it. It is 4:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is the current news cycle on Google. So if you look up those articles, you will find out what date they were released and hours from when I chose you, so you will find out and be able to verify that this is when this video is being recorded. It is being pre-recorded. Keep that in mind. Now, these are some disclaimers on your screen right now. You can feel free to read them on your own time. I'm just going to speed ahead. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only. And here are some last-minute disclaimers. And again, you can always pause that to read it. So now, the main part of today's video, well, one of the things I really wanted to speak about is Liz Cheney concession speech. I was listening to it. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It wasn't anything I really see in a concession speech, so it was really nice to know. And it kind of made me cry a little bit, so I really took some pieces of it, and I was able to show you today. Now, unfortunately, I would love to be able to show the clip. However, that is not allowed due to copyright issues, so I just took the words and just know it came directly from Liz Cheney. So we're going to go through that right now. Excuse me, I apologize for stuttering. Let's do it. Okay, so this is Liz Cheney's speech recap. So if you have not watched it, I'm going to tell you right now. So she said just 2 years ago that I won a primary with 73% of the vote. I could easily have done the same thing again. The path was clear, but I would have required that I go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. It would have required that I enabled his ongoing efforts to unravel our democratic system and attack the foundation of our republic. That was the path that I could and not would not take. We must be very clear-eyed about the threat that we face and about what is required to defeat it. I've said since January 6th that I would do whatever it takes to ensure that Donald Trump is never again anywhere near the Oval Office, and I mean this. I called her to concede the race. This primary election is over now, but now the real work begins. And the great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in an election for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all. Lincoln ultimately prevailed and saved our union and defined our obligation as Americans for all of history. And this is when she quotes the Gettysburg Address. Lincoln said, quote, "Death shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from this earth." I'm a conservative Republican, and I believe deeply in the principles and ideals of which my party was founded, but I love my country more. So I ask you tonight to join me, that we all stand together against those who will destroy our republic. They are angry, they are determined, but they have not seen anything like the power of the American united in defense of our Constitution and they're committed to the cause of freedom. That is no greater power on this earth. And so that was really the main gist of her concession speech. I thought it was beautiful. It was very inspiring. It was really raised the morale. So this is very key here. There's some key points here. It talked about Abraham Lincoln. It talked about freedom. It talked about the Constitution, a multitude of different things. So I really felt that it was very strong and powerful, and I felt like I needed to include this in the video. So I do hope you guys like that. I hope I was able to give you exactly what you need. Okay, so going to the information here, these are some things that's going on in the news cycle right now. Harry Hagman had defeated Liz Cheney in the Republican primary. She only was able to gain 28.9% of the vote, and that was mostly Democratic crossover votes. Yes, most Democrats indeed only represented 20% of the entire state of Wyoming. So there's that. Now, here are some things that I see on the news article. Now, I have not read them. I chose not to read them. The only thing I read were things that about her concession speech, and that was it. I tried to really stay away from this, but I kind of wanted to take the headline so you kind of know what is there. So we have here this magazine here. I don't know what company it is. I mean, I don't know what one it is, but it says, opinion, don't run, Liz, don't run. Right? They're suggesting that she does not run. Here is another news article from Fox News, actually. And it says, Wall Street Journal warns Liz Cheney, quote, revenge tour could divide the GOP and ruin Trump's 2024 chances. So you can really see the difference between liberal media and conservative media and their views on Liz Cheney's defeat in Wyoming and what that could possibly mean going forward. So we're going to discuss all that in this video. All right. And we're also going to be talking about a potential new political party and what that's going to mean as well. Okay. So the first question that we have here, what is Liz Cheney's future in general, and what's her future in her political career overall? So we're going to take a look at both and kind of see what's happening. So I feel like more being pulled towards this tower deck, the right-of-way tower deck, so we're going to use that first, and then we're going to start to talk about other questions as well. Again, everything is timestamped in the description. So Spirit Angel, tell me more about Liz Cheney. What do we need to know about Liz Cheney, the daughter of Dick Cheney? She lost her House of Representatives seat yesterday. So what did her future hold? What did Liz Cheney's future hold? Okay, interesting. So remember how John Ossoff, if you guys are not familiar, you know the reason why we have the Senate was particularly because of John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock in Georgia, with the runoff between David Perdue and Loeffler back in Georgia back in 2021, where they both Democrats were able to flip it. John Ossoff, I see him particularly, he was running originally for the House of Representatives and lost against a Republican in a heavily Republican district, but somehow turned it very competitive. So the reason why I mentioned that is that's kind of the same thing going on here, is that don't lose hope just because Donald Trump right now at this moment has a lot of support. Doesn't mean going next in the next 2 years, he may very well lose that support. And the reason for that is, the reason why I'm also mentioning it is that John Ossoff was never meant to win the House seat. If he was to win the House seat, the Republicans will have control of the Senate. If he, thank God he lost it, because it led to him to becoming a senator. So because of that, you kind of see here, there is always a reason why some of our candidates lose. So there's a question here now, what is Liz Cheney's path? Why did she lose, really? And because her future holds something else for her. So we're going to take a look at that right now. Okay, so the first card that we have here reversed is the star card. Now, this is my presidency card normally. I'm not going to jump the gun because I do want to be able to look at other questions, but this is normally a pretty good sign, but it also shows the sign of America, because this is my American card. But what I'm seeing here is the two-party system, right? We have the Democrats and the Republicans. It is reversed. It means the two-party system was starting to crumble. I told you guys that before, but the two-party system was starting to crash. Both the Democrats and Republicans are not going to be Democrats and Republicans long-term, right? If you guys have looked at my community page, I talked about it, even did a poll asking you guys if you will be interested if I covered it, our very first independent president. What the video is probably going to come out sometime either this week or into next week. But regardless of what it looked already at the two-party system is already crumbling, and it starts with Liz Cheney. We have the Justice card. The Justice card is reversed. This is January 6th. This was her really. This is her in the past. So this is right now, but this is in the past. So we're talking about the future, right? So this is her losing her Wyoming seat, right? She was the House of Representatives. She had a lot of power. She would expect it actually become the new Speaker of the House once the Republicans were expected to take control back in 2022, right? So she would expect it to be Speaker of the House, but she's not. Right, and underneath this here, we have the two-party system crumbling, and we have the Emperor. This is the president card. So she's going to play a very major role when it comes to the 2024 presidential election. And I'm talking about this in general terms, but it feels like it's very strong for independence. She's going to hold another role, something very strong. She's going to wield something. She's going to have a lot more power in the future than what she has right now. And as for the future, though, I do see that she's going to have some sort of hiccups, but she's going to be able to kind of like block some people from going through the process. Whatever it is that she's doing, she's going to be able to block some people, but at the same time, as she's focusing on her attention on blocking someone else was able to go around her without her looking. So in a way, she has a blind spot. But then that follows, there was the Empress card, the future. She could become a very powerful figure. I do see the Supreme Court, so she might play a major role in the Supreme Court. She might also as well, could even very well become a vice president. I did get that is theoretically possible that Biden chooses her as his new vice president and Kamala Harris kind of parts ways. Because remember, I told you guys, Kamala Harris told me in my ear a long time ago, 2 years ago, that she's not interested in the presidency. And that Biden even said on a campaign trail that he is interested or will be playing with the idea of having a Republican vice president to kind of bring a sort of unity. It's theoretically possible that Biden would appoint her as the vice president to kind of amend the situation. So it is possible that that is a possibility. That is an open thing. That's not like it's gonna like not gonna happen, but that's what I'm seeing. That is a one possibility. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. There's multiple other possibilities. She becomes president. She becomes Madam President. Defies all the odds. There is possibilities here. There's not just one thing has to happen. It can multitude different things and how it happens and how the storyline plays out. We do have here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have the 8 of Swords reversed. She's not going to be as contained as Donald Trump wants her to be. The Republican Party wants her to be contained, so they're thinking that this loss is going to be the end of Cheney. But that is really not true. I see her being out in the field. I see her in the news. I see her playing major roles in almost every aspect of our political, government. She's going to play a major role in some form or some way. It has to do with the Supreme Court. Maybe she's not a justice. Maybe she's talking as a witness to something and she exposes information. So there's going to be something there that she's going to have a lot of power and control over. We do have here a reveal of revelation. Something's going to be revealed from Cheney that she's going to expose. So there's going to be some sort of explosion. That's why we have the moon card reversed. It means something that was once hidden, it will be revealed. And that's in the future, though. So that's coming in the future. That's possible after the election is over, the 2024 election is over. Whatever that is, she's going to be exposing something. And it's going to be major news. I just see 1414 on the angel number here. And because of this, she will have a lot of support, both from the Democrats and the Republicans. Surprisingly, it will be Republican. But she will have support in terms of that. So now we're going to take a look at her political career, because we did ask about general, but that's what they gave me. So we're just going to go with it. We're going to take a look at her political now. Okay, hold on 1 second. Shuffle. Okay. Again, if you don't want to, like, let's watch this question, you could always go to a timestamp in the description and kind of jump around in this video. We're going to watch all of it. Highly recommend you do that. It'll help the channel, but you do what you do to you. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me, what is Liz Cheney's future about her political career? What is Liz Cheney's political future now that she lost her Wyoming seat in the House of Representatives? What is Liz Cheney's future? Do you want to see if this confirmed, I'll be done. All right, so there's going to be some sort of loss here in the future. What a loss here, yeah. So she's going to lose something. Something big, something close to her. It could be an individual, could be someone who's in her family. It could be that. I'm not trying to insinuate death. I'm not going to predict that, but it does feel like there is some sort of emotional loss here. So it could be family matters, personal issue. We do have here in the past here, we do have the Page of Cups. She was doing the right thing and understood that she understood the political cost. Hands down, she understood her political cost, right? And right now, at this moment, she lost. She lost, and she lost bigly. She didn't lose by a small margin. She lost very big by a landslide. But that is to be expected in a state of Wyoming with 75% of people identifying as Republican. We do have here, though, is that we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have the 9 of Cups upright. And what that kind of shows me is that regardless of what happened here, she is still going to have tremendous amount of support. She's going to have backing from people unexpected, but she's going to have backing. Whether they agree with her politically or not, it is not about politics anymore. It's about what is doing right. Because this, what she did was patriotism. You don't find it often in American politicians. And what she did was rare. And people hailed her as a hero, what they should. But if we hail her as a hero in some way or some form, it would become a rare occurrence, but not a normal thing. What she did should be what all Republicans, all Democrats, and independents, and all politicians do. Because they should be serving the people, not themselves. We do have here the card is reversed. We have the King of Swords. Vacancy, right? And the incumbent loses. The incumbent is no longer in power. We have here the Magician card, right? Manifestation. She's doing something. She's wielding something. But I feel like this is talking about post-term, her political career. This is talking about, she lost her seat. Then in this aspect, I think this is talking about short-term. So this is really referring to here. She lost her seat. She's no longer representative. So this is around January of 2023. And we had the Magician card, which tells that she lost her place in the media. She lost her place to speak. She kind of almost like had her voice trampled a little bit. And so now she goes back to the drawing board and says, what else can I do to be able to get my message out? What can I do to be able to trample the extremism within my own party? What can I do? Right? This is why the Page of Pentacles reversed. And so she comes in with the Ace of Pentacles with an idea, an option, a compromise of some sort. And she comes in and says, here, this is my idea. Will you take it? She talked to the people directly. She's talking to you guys directly, telling you what she wants you to hear. She wants you to hear her message directly. So I would not be surprised if she's on social media more often, if she's on news articles. Maybe she appears in TV shows, movies, commercials, whatever it is. She's going to put her message out, right? Because she truly believes that what is going on in America, she really believes it's the end. And so she's trying to do whatever she can to save it. And the card that comes after is the Lover's card. And this is normally a Biden Harris card, but what I feel like here is the dissent between the Trump wing and the Cheney wing. The neoconservatism versus the Trumpism. That's just what this would be. It's talking about the potential future of a rival mashup in the Republican primary. She may challenge Trump, but it's also theoretically possible that she may not challenge him in the primary. She may challenge him in the election. Okay, that is the question here. So now, what is Liz Cheney's future on the January 6th committee since she lost? So now, a lot of you guys may not know and may not be aware that since Liz Cheney lost, she will have to give up that seat in the January 6th committee. Unless there's some sort of rule or loophole that allows her to stay, she's not allowed to be on the committee right after she loses her seat. Because she is no longer part of the government in some way, if that makes any sense. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. Let me use my other deck. We are going to use the United States of Tarot deck. Because it has a January 6th actually in here, and I feel like that might be informative to really find out what exactly it is that we need to know about her future on the January 6th committee. Now, if you don't know, and I did not add this into the speech, she did talk about a potentiality for a new January 6th moment in the United States. I did talk to you guys about that 2 years ago, and I did warn that it's going to happen again in 2024, but she believes that with the FBI and the potentiality of Trump releasing all the names of the FBI agent, it could happen sooner. So we'll take a look at that in another video. So Spirit Angels tell me, what is Liz Cheney's future on the January 6th committee since she lost? So she has to step down. What is Liz Cheney's future on the January 6th committee? What is Liz Cheney's role in the January 6th committee, Spirit Angels? What is her future? Interesting. Okay. So, the card that we have here is, her talking in the past. So, she was somebody who was in the front and television talking to the people about what happened on January 6th and talking about everything, really bringing righteousness and compassion to January 6th committee. Right? This is where the story comes in, right? This is, I believe, the DOJ, but I could be wrong. I have no idea, honestly. I'm so out of it right now. I have no idea who this is, but you guys probably know. But regardless of who it is, it feels like she had a lot of strength in the past, right? She was the main speaker in the committee. Right now, she lost. So America is going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of problems, right? So I do feel like with the Three of Swords here, we have the children in cages, right? This is a deck that was designed to really foreshadow all the things that were happening under the Trump presidency. But what the Three of Swords is telling me here, that some people, when they were mentioned in the committee, will actually end up either losing their job, resigning, or actually finding themselves up in jail or serving jail time or prison sentences. I do see that here. And so we're talking about what is Liz Cheney's future on the January 6th committee. We do have the Seven of Cups. Even though she won't be able to really be the speaker for the January 6th committee, she will be an advocate and will be an extra voice in the news media. So definitely expect her to make appearances in the news media talking about January 6th and the findings and stuff like that. I do expect Nancy Pelosi to be working closely with Liz Cheney in some way, or even seeking advice from her. We do have here in the future, though, we do have the Nine of Cups. This is the election time, right? This is my election. We do have here in some way or some form, it didn't go as they hoped. It didn't go as she had hoped, right? I'm not sure if that election is talking about 2022, the midterm coming up in November, or it is hinting at the 2024 presidential election results, because that is really interesting to see. However, that might be the midterm, but I feel like it might be, because the card that follows is, what is the future of Liz Cheney on the January 6th committee since she lost? And the card that comes here is the Tower card. Trump Tower being brought down. So the future of Liz Cheney and her ability to be able to do everything down is that she has the ability to take Trump down. You see it in the cards here. I sent it when I was talking to my friend last night. We were talking about Liz Cheney, and I told her I strongly feel like she's the woman that takes Trump down. And I'm going to do a video on that. I talked about the woman who takes Trump down and the woman who destroys the United States. And I talked about two women. And that was about in 2021. People said I was fear-mongering. I don't think I was fear-mongering. I just think I misinterpreted the messages by making it seem negative, even though it wasn't. So I apologize for anyone who had thought that. But I truly believe Liz Cheney is the one who takes him down. So yes, what I see here in terms of her future, that she's going to be a very effective communicator to the people, and will be very effective when it comes to the January 6th committee's goals and effectiveness against Trump. Now, would they succeed is uncertain right now, but the information is there, the detail is there, and it's going to help a lot, especially when reaching out to discontent Republicans. We do have at the bottom of the deck here, we do have the Four of Cups. Well, it kind of feels like the refusal of the presidency. So what this is really talking about in terms of the January 6th committee is going to play a major role in how she handled the January 6th committee and her role as a potential president. Trying to set the new precedent for the United States going forward, what is to be accepted, what is not to be accepted. You can kind of compare her more to the likes of Washington. And then as well, the card that follows afterwards is the Queen of Swords. So she does have a very strong possibility of becoming president. I will say that right now. It may not look possible now, but she has a very strong possibility. And we do have the Queen of Swords. Right? This is all about the mental part. She is in there. She's in the game long term. She's in there mentally. She's willing to fight. And everybody in America wants to fight her. So I do see here she will not give up without a fight. This is Hillary Clinton here. And she may appear to be someone that you think will appear or not be. So, for example, a Republican will make her appear in a certain way, but really she is exact opposite of what they're talking about. So I do see that here. So she does have a very, very strong possibility of becoming president. Okay, so let's ask the next question. Liz Cheney is in the Republican Party. Okay. Oh my God, I had a stroke reading this. I apologize, everybody. Liz Cheney in the Republican nomination field for president. How was she fair? So we're asking now, if let's say Liz Cheney decides to announce that she's going to run for president, and she chooses to run in the Republican primary, how is she fair? We're going to just look at how she's going to do, and then we're going to look at her how she's going to do against Trump in the primary. Will she beat him? Or will she lose? Right? We'll take a look at that now. Okay. We'll put that here. I'm going to use my own personal deck. Spirit Angels tell me Liz Cheney in the Republican nomination field for president. How will she fare in the Republican primary in 2024? Going into the Republican primary to become the 47th president of the United States. How will she fare in the Republican primary if she decides to enter the race in 2024? Or 2023 or 2022, whatever. Whatever she announces, whenever she announces, how will she fare in the Republican primary for president? Okay. Okay, so she will lose. Yeah, she will lose the Republican primary. But we have here to lose, but we have balance. And then we have Christmas time. So I don't think that she's going to be able to really maintain the voter enthusiasm, especially when it comes to making her case for the Republican Party. But there is a but here. Because even though she will lose the nomination, even though she will lose the Republican nomination, she will make it an effect that is unexpected. And that will be what will balance her party out. That will balance out her power. So even though she'll lose the Republican nomination, she will have support from somewhere unexpected. Don't know where it is. It may not be from the Democrats, but it's going to be unexpected. It could be new voters. It could be new people who are disenfranchised with their own two-party government. They may be interested in what she may have to give them and so they may become more interested in her. It's possible, talking about maybe even though she loses the primary, she might be invested in a third party run against Trump and Biden. So we'll take a look at that as well. So we do have that here as well. That even though it looked dim and even though she lost, there is hope. And there is a surprise waiting, which is why we have the present. And it comes around Christmas time. She's going to make an announcement in December of 2023. Or at least, yeah, around that time. There's going to be a surprise of some sort. Okay, so now how would she fare against Donald Trump in the Republican primary? Let's take a look. So Spirit Angel, in a hypothetical matchup between Liz Cheney versus Donald John Trump, the former president of the United States, for the Republican primary in 2024, how would they do against each other for the Republican nomination for president in 2024? So this is the president card. So I'm going to put it in. We're going to ask what card represents Liz Cheney and what card represents Donald Trump. Okay, what card represents Donald Trump, Spirit Angel? Tell me. With his energy right now, what card represents Donald Trump in 2024? For Republican nomination. Okay. So we have two. We have landslide. And we have luck. Okay, these are the three cards that will represent Donald Trump. So I want to put that in right now. Okay, I don't know what this is. 2, landslide, and luck. Okay, now we're going to look at Liz Cheney and find out what her three cards are and what cards represent her. Spirit Angel, tell me what card represents Liz Cheney and her current energy going into 2024 hypothetical matchup between Donald Trump and her in the Republican primary. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, she has a lot of balance. She has very good chakra energy. Really good chakra energy. So we have women. Right? She does well with women, does really bad with men. Okay, so we're going to have 0. Okay. We're going to have 1 reverse. It's funny how she gets 0 and 1. You know what I mean? And then we also have the chakras right here. If anything, out of all these 3 people, I think she might be the best candidate in 2024. Just based on what I see in the cards. Not saying that she's going to win, but she's the best candidate to choose. Now, I'm not trying to endorse her or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what I see in the cards. That she does really care. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me who would be president in excuse me. My God, I apologize, guys. Who will win the Republican nomination? Donald Trump or Liz Cheney? So we're going to have Donald Trump on the left, and we're going to have Liz Cheney on the right. Who will win? Are you ready, Spirit? We're going to go back and forth. So Trump, Liz Cheney, Trump, Liz Cheney, Trump, Liz Cheney. We're going to keep going until we get the card and then on top of the thing. Okay, you ready, Spirit? Okay. This is the card that comes out, and Happy New Year. Okay, you ready? You're ready. Okay, tick tock. Okay. So we have 1 already. 1. She actually might really pull this off. So now we know she came up first. So now we have to know what one does it pick in terms of the winner. And now we have to look for that guy with the hat. Well, no, the guy with the glasses. So where is it? I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be her. World leader, president. We have the president card here. Let's see if we can back that up. Hold on. But I think it's going to be her. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be her. It's going, but then this says Trump. Oh, okay. See, it might be what I said. Okay, so it might be that she decides to run in the primary. She may lose the primary, but then decide to run as a third party and win the general election as an independent or whatever party that she decides to run as. But it appears to be that she beats Trump. in some way or form, she beat Trump, but Trump beats her in the primary. So it looks like that's what's going on here. Because Trump, too, came up in her side, but Deal didn't come, landslide and Luck did not come up on Trump. None of them came up for him. Only her card came up. So I'm going to say that it appears to be that, Donald Trump will lose against Liz Cheney, but at the same exact time, Liz Cheney will lose the Republican primary to Trump. So it looks like the Republicans choose Trump, but then Liz Cheney wins the overall vote in the 2024 election, just hypothetically, because it does come up with the president card directly. Okay. So now the next question that we're going to have here, what is Liz Cheney's role in the Republican Party? So we're going to take a look at that. I find that to be really interesting, considering the fact that she is no longer, she is still a part of the Republican Party, but what is her role in the party? Doesn't make any sense. Like, what is her power? What is her ability to do in the Republican Party? Is she able to maybe potentially sway minds? Is she maybe able to convince, voters not to vote a certain way, or maybe even have some sort of influence in some sort, like the way Donald Trump does on his Republican Party? So we'll take a look at that. Right now, I'm just putting cards in, just trying to boost, kind of like keep them random a bit. Okay. This is really interesting. I really will say that I feel like it's her. I feel like she's the one who takes Trump down. The cards just keep telling me, yeah. And I even had that internal feeling. The cards just keep coming up like, Chris, you're right. I'm like, I know. And the cards are just showing. So let me know what you guys feel. Okay. So Spirit Angel, tell me, what is Liz Cheney's role in the Republican Party overall? What is Liz Cheney's role in the Republican Party overall? What is her influence like? Like I said, she's going to be very good at communication. Like I said, she's going to be on social media, trying to push out her message. What is Liz Cheney's role in the Republican Party? So we have red here. This is like full-blown red. Okay. Tick-tock time. Lightning strike. Transportation. Okay, so one of her core values that she's going to be talking about is travel. Right, so she's going to be talking about energy. There's going to be a lot about energy. So she's going to be talking about labor, energy, and transportation. So infrastructure and stuff like that. Those are going to be one of her top 3 components. She's going to be talking about how we can improve the country overall in terms of infrastructure. How can we improve the country in terms of our energy and be able to kind of conserve energy while also producing a massive amount. So maybe energy independence. And we do have here transportation, trying to invest in our transportation, public transport, to be able to help people get around for way cheaper. So I do feel like she's going to be focusing on trying to build her message to really get people really thinking about social issues and issues that affect them personally at home, not the political stuff, but social issues that affect you directly as an interviewer. I mean, as a person, as an American citizen, or as an immigrant as well. We do have here fun, so she will have a lot of fun doing this. So there's going to be a lot more lighthearted. So she's going to appear and she's really setting the image up. Really what it is she's setting the image for people to really have a certain perception of her, so that when the 2024 election comes around, they're going to see her in a positive way than a negative way, despite all the ads that Trump and all the Democrats are going to put against her. We do have here, though, her time is not here just yet, but she will have time here. She will be able to make her case for the Republicans, but not right now. Actually, interesting enough, look forward to Arizona, the heat. So she might be talking about the heat wave or the dust bowl. I did talk about the dust storm coming, and you're going to be swept across from west to east, and it's going to have to kind of force you to wear a mask. If you don't wear a mask, you're going to rip up the internal lining of your respiratory system. But we do have Arizona here, so we do have dryness. She's going to be talking about the environment a lot and what it means to be in humanity. So I would expect her to kind of take on some views that would be unexpected. Maybe she might actually reinvent what it means to be a Republican. Or she's going to challenge that. And we do have here community flag travel. So we do have that here, community flag travel. She is going to kind of be like a little bit like Trump, but not too much. And when I say a little bit like Trump, I'm talking about travel, kind of forcing our allies to pay for stuff like that. We have Alien, so maybe the same views are going to be very similar to what Donald Trump is with immigration, but might be a little bit lighter, but very similar. And lastly, but not the least, women's rights. So she's going to actually be pro-abortion. At least she's going to be fighting for women's right to choose, despite the party. So she's actually going to have to get the woman vote. In order really for her to have a chance, she needs the woman vote, which will make a lot of sense why that card comes up. Maybe she has to change her heart. Maybe she talks to people. Maybe is able to interact with people instead of just kind of like assuming she's going to win. She's going to have to fight for the vote. So I feel like she's going to be a change of heart here for her. So she's going to really understand what it means and why these people really want those certain things. She's going to have actually change. She's not going to be the same Liz Cheney you see now, the more conservative. She's going to be kind of more of a moderate type conservative. Okay. How would Liz Cheney stop Donald Trump, and will she be successful? It looks like she stopped him through the presidency by winning the presidency and stopped him. But we're going to ask the cards directly and find out how does she stop him. How will Liz Cheney stop Trump, and will she be successful? How will Liz Cheney stop Donald John Trump from becoming president again or touching the Oval Office? How will she prevent him from winning or even becoming president again? Okay, the power of women. Really, I'm not kidding. It's the power of women. It's the power of women. That's what's gonna stop him. So remember what I said. I feel like two women were gonna be able. Well, one person was gonna take Trump down. It was gonna be a woman. But then we had a woman who saved the United States and one who tried to destroy. So the power of women is gonna be very dominant here in terms of energy. Okay. So it looks to me that it's going to be through the election. It's going to be a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent. She may actually run as an independent, and she may choose not to be affiliated with any particular party. And so her goal is to stop Trump, but also kind of talking about issues. So if she does become president, there's a reason why she's there instead of just stopping Trump overall, because no one's going to vote for her if there's no political motive behind stopping Trump, because people want to be split between the Democrat and independent. So she needs to make her case on why they should choose her instead of Biden and Trump. You see what I mean? But I do see like she's going to have one of her ways is going to stop also not only through the electoral process, but she's also going to stop them in government. So I would not be surprised if she has some sort of influence, like I said, or even better yet, she decides to run for a specific seat or is appointed to a specific cabinet seat or whatever it is, a high official, whatever it is. She's going to play a major role in our government. Potentially, Biden may put her as the new press secretary. Who knows? Whatever it is, she's going to be in the government, regardless of how you want to look at that. What else? How else will Liz Cheney stop Trump? Is there anything in particular that we need to know? Again, women here. She's going to play a major role in women's rights. But if, even though I said I talked about abortion, I think it might not be about abortion, but be something similar, something that matters a lot to women. It could be children. Whatever it is, it's going to be something very important that matters to women, but it might not be related to abortion at all. So don't quote me on that 100%. How else will Liz Cheney stop Donald Trump, and how? I don't know if they're going to tell me because they don't want to reveal that. But we do have darkness right now. We're in the time period. The flower and the rose had not bloomed into the sun. So it is still in darkness. It's in the early phases right now. Everything just started to make things up. The plan is starting to be drafted, so things are starting to come. But if she wanted to, really stop him, she'll win by a landslide, or at least try to beat him in something, right? And we do have the double card here, so she's going to try to really appoint him, or at least try to frame him in a way that of Hitler or like Antichrist type energy. But they're going to try to frame him to look like that because. A lot of people see him as a glorified Jesus type figure. They're going to try to change the marketing strategy and try to change people's perspective and how they view him. right, to see if they can view him in the same way. We do have here old, which is also communication, is trying to get out the old people vote. I think she's going to try to cater to the older generation because the older generation does not really watch a lot of television or news media, at least not in particular. I'm not, if you're insulted, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just talking about in general. And so I do feel like that is going to play a major role in her being able to get that vote by just her talking to them and just directly telling them what they need to know. I feel like there's going to be like more on hand on campaign. We do have here, she's going to have a diverse base. She's going to have diverse views. And then, so she's going to be a very successful, if she was to run, she will have a very successful third-party campaign because she will have all the necessity of a major party, which will put her at the political power very strongly, like Ross Perot back in the 90s when we could have had an independent president then. Because he almost would have won that election had he just not dropped out. He would have won and became the first independent president because he was leading against Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, or George Bush. Okay, so will she be successful? Let's take a look. Will she be successful at stopping Trump? We have the home reversed, which kind of looks like a White House, but let's see. It looks like a yeah. It looks like a yes to me. Again, old. She might just make the case that Trump is too old, that he can't be president anymore. So people are going to resonate with that. Right? Because we do have the home card reversed. Now, new home, right? New opening. Chances are it should be successful. We have communication here. Again, marketing strategy, trying to get people to think a certain way. We have the surrender flag, which is the white flag here, what kind of tells me I surrender, right? And then we have here in the future, we do have sunk, which really means like, like the economy and stuff like that. And the economy is going up, you're doing a lot better now than you were under Trump, it's gonna make claims like that. And in the end, or at least they're talking about poll ratings and approval rating for Biden or her. And in the end, will she be successful? Yeah, she will be successful at stopping Trump. It'll be interesting to see how she does it, though. So she's a very strong person to do it. Okay, will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024? If so, the Republican Independent or a new party, the Forward Party. So I'll talk about the Forward Party right now. I think it'll be really interesting for you guys to really see and kind of know who this new political party is. This was a political party that was pushed forward by Andrew Yang. If you're not familiar, he was a former Democratic candidate for president in 2020. He got together with disenfranchised Republicans and Democrats, and they decided to formulate the brand new political party in the United States called Forward. And so it says here, we're not just a new party, we're kind of a new party, right? It says, how are we different? We have diverse thinking that isn't just welcome, but it is required. The Forward Party will welcome new ideas and fearless conversations around the issues of the day. We won't silence debate or refuse to adapt to the modern world. Bottom up, not top down. The Forward Party will empower leaders to find solutions that work for their communities. We won't dictate a rigid top-down policy platform and expect it to work for all Americans. No purity test. The Forward Party will create a political home for everyone willing to set aside their partisan extremes and find practical ways to make the country better. We won't be checking IDs to see if people are Democrat, Republicans, or Independent. More listening and less talking. The Forward Party will ask you what we can do for your community. We will not ask you what your community can do for us. We work together, not against. The Forward Party will strive to collaborate solutions and make sure they work. And they try something else if they don't. We won't ignore problems so that we can use them to drive wedges between Americans. Nothing gets done when opposing views are treated like enemies' positions. Grace and tolerance. The Forward Party will approach each other with grace and tolerance, finding ways to pick people back up rather than knock them down. We won't cancel people or cast them out of the party for not falling in line. So if you don't know what fall in line means, they're just basically talking about how politicians will have to vote a certain way continuously and force them to vote even if they don't really want to vote that way. they're saying that we're going to let you vote however you feel is right for you and for your constituent. And so that is really what they're just talking about. The political party here, it seemed to be a compromise between both the Democrats and the Republicans. It is former Democrats and Republicans and independents could join together to formulate the forward party. So I want to give you a little bit of background before I mentioned it. So let's do it. Let's do a video on it. Let's talk about now, will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024? Will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024, Spirits and Angels? Will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024? Okay, I heard this is the wrong deck. Is this the right deck? They want me to use my personal deck. Spirits and Angels, tell me, will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024? Yes, she will. She will run for president in 2024. Because we also have Thanksgiving. So she might be making an announcement before Thanksgiving. So she's gonna be making an announcement either in October or November. Probably sometime after the midterm election is over. We do have here, though, in terms of will Liz Cheney run for president in 2024, we do have here she's going to be in no communication, so really no one's really going to know whether or not she's going to run or not. However, she kind of made up her mind, and by the time that she's away from making the decision, she's going to be gaining support, right? People are already flavoring the idea of, okay, maybe I may not identify as a Republican, but I'd rather have her than this, right? People see her as the lesser of two evils. We do have the thankful, grateful thing. That's Thanksgiving, by the way. It is reversed, and what it is telling me here that in a way or some form, she's going to be making an announcement soon. She will be making an announcement, and she may be considering, like I said, she might run for the Republican primary and try to beat Trump in that, just do the national way, then loses, and then decides to potentially run as a third party. So, yeah, it looks like she will do that. She's going to follow the book first. She's going to follow the book and kind of just really see how that's going to play out. So it looks like that. She's going to run on a Republican ticket, at least to see how that's going to play out in the primary. If doesn't, she run third party. What are you going to do? Okay, so Spirits and Angels tell me. Okay, well, let me just ask the card. What card represents the forward party? Wrong deck? Is this the right deck? They want me to use my other personal deck, so we're going to use that. But I do actually have a third-party card in here, so it just makes sense to use it. Okay, Spirits and Angels, tell me. Well, what political party will Liz Cheney decide to run in 2024? Will she decide to run as the Republican Independent or the new political party, Forward Party? Okay. Maybe I should just do it the other way. How would Liz Cheney decide to run for president in the United States in 2024? If she was to run, what political party would she choose? Would she choose Democrat, Republican, Independent, Forward Party? What would she choose? Okay, so we know she's removed from power. We know that, right? What political party will Liz Cheney choose? Okay, so if she was to win, she will actually do very well in the election. 320, 356. If she was just doing a mashup between Trump and no Democrat was there, mostly would choose her. But, yeah. Anyway, besides the point. What political party will Liz Cheney run as in the 2024 election if she decides to run? Okay, they're going to try to kill her. Oh, I shouldn't have said that like straightforward, but for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Okay, so she is going to run. Okay, so she is going to run under Republicans, but then she loses the primary and then decides to run as an independent. And it's possible that she makes a deal with the Forward Party and they put her at the front runner. So it's possible that she runs as the third party candidate. Whatever it is, I see her running Republican, then she flipped over and runs as an independent. But it's all about strength and freedom, which is exactly what her speech was about, by the way. And she's going to be an American eagle. Okay. What happened to Trump if Liz Cheney decides to run third party? Will he lose support? This is real interesting. Really interesting. I'm not going to lie. It was super interesting. Okay. Should I use this deck for the question? This one? This one? This one? Okay, they want me to use this deck for the question. They're like, no, wrong deck, wrong deck. I'm like, okay. Okay, so Spirit Angel, tell me what happened to Trump if Liz Cheney decided to run third party? Okay, let's see what card came up. Oh, okay. Don't make an assumption yet. Okay. I'm not even sure. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, so the first card that came out with the Five of Cups. Now, I was originally thinking, okay, maybe potentially it means civil war, and that civil war breaks out, and people are fighting constantly. But I don't think that's what it means. It could be. It could be literal, but it could be metaphorical. What this could mean is that we have third-party candidates. We have Liz Cheney, we have Trump, and we have Biden, right? So it's possible that we have Trump and Biden falsely fighting in the background, and there she is. She's like, guys, is this really the type of America that you want? Right? That's kind of what the energy and that vibe is giving me. It's giving me that she's kind of standing there in the midst of a battlefield, so to speak. We have the Three of Swords here. And the Three of Swords here is really hinting and talking about here is, again, jail time. So potentially she's going to talk about his investigations and the criminal aspect that he committed. So will he lose support? Not exactly just yet, but it is going to be pretty hard. But we also have here as well, we do have the Two of Wands here. Now, before we go into the card here, we do have the Five of Cups. It's also possible that I was talking about the breaking up of the Republican Party, the party torn apart between Liz Cheney's wing and Donald Trump wing when they tore apart. Kind of could be what that means as well. Could be the breaking up of the two-party system, collapse of it. Could be the collapse of the Republican Party internal fighting. We do have here underneath the Five of Cups, was it the Two of Wands? Was it all about, in this aspect, the new advancement in American society? Advancing on to the next level, advancing forward, having new advancements, right? In the last 120 years, we have more advancements scientifically than ever before. And so that is really what it is talking about. That, the future is travel, transportation. Like I said, travel and transportation can be very key for Liz Cheney. We do have here in the future, though. Now, this is where I get a little bit confused. We have Melania Trump coming up as the Empress card. But she came up as the Empress card before, and I said that she was going to be president. Or at least will be president at one point. And we do have here the Empress card here. So now Melania Trump could be really hinting at, Donald Trump becoming president again. But I don't think that is the case. I do feel like because Melania Trump is a woman, and it does show up here very clearly in the the card, it does hint that it could possibly be hinting about Liz Cheney. And if you look at it very closely, Liz Cheney, if you look at the name, it's a chain, right? Being chained down. Well, look at Melania Trump. She has the handcuff, but the handcuff is open, right? She is no longer silent. She is no longer chained down to what she was. So it's theoretically possible that this is talking about Liz Cheney, and Liz Cheney in the end is the future. Right? Now, we're not talking about that president for Liz Cheney. We're talking about that if she decides to run for president, she could trounce Trump or even destroy Trump just in the vote. We do have the Four of Pentacles, right? It will prevent him from gaining enough votes in order to become president. I feel like in some way she's going to start taking votes. So now answering the second part of the question, will he lose votes? Yeah, he will. He will lose votes. And we do have here, even though she's not going to kind of like be like a neo-Republican, like her, her father, vice president type of thing, was. She won't be like George Bush. She'll be something very different. She won't win by now emotion either. But we do have here Trump will not become president if she decides to run third party, right? We have here Trump being emperor, right? Being crowned, and you see him yelling in the background with money on the ground in the Constitution. It's reversed, and that tells me that's not possible. She will stop him, and she'll bring a sense of peace and calmness back to the country. So will she lose support? Not really, but she would actually gain support. Trump would actually lose support by having her as a third party running against him. So it feels to be right now the future of the United States when it comes to Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney could be the thing that stopped him. She could stop him right in his tracks. Surprisingly, since she has barely any support in the Republican Party. But don't underestimate the Republicans either, because I see that in the cards. Would Liz Cheney become Madam President? Now we're going to act that directly. Can I use this deck? You want me to use this deck? So when I ask the cards, will Liz Cheney become president, Madam President? Will Liz Cheney become Madam President, Spirits and Angels? Will Liz Cheney become Madam President? Just gonna put it back in. I want to do it. Anything that flies out, we'll do it again. I'll show you a card next time. Spirit Angels, tell me, will Liz Cheney become Madam President of the United States? Interesting. Okay, so all these were reversed. We had Congress decides, we had winner unknown, and we have manufacturing industry, right? Minimum wage, the revolution of some sort, child labor. I talk about child labor with Cheney, right? It's reversed because they're all reversed. They get all flipped, and so now we have foreign policy, declaration of war, diplomacy, alliance, treaty, or trade deals. Remember, I said that potentially there could be some sort of uproar of some sort. Could be possible that this is what they're talking about, the declaration of war. So I wouldn't put it 100% on. That is not possible. It could be starting something. We do have here a winner known. We do know who the winner is. And there is an impeachment trial, right? She did play a major role in that impeachment trial. The Spirit Angels tell me, would Liz Cheney become Madam President? Will she become Madam President at any point in time in history? Will Liz Cheney ever be called Madam President? Will Liz Cheney ever be called Madam President? Okay. Okay. We'll keep this the way it was before. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Well, hold on. Why am I flipping? These are all right. Okay. So these are the cards. I only flip the card if they're reversed. So if they're like this, I flip them. They're double-sided. I didn't realize I was flipping them and they were upright, so I apologize. Okay, so we have foreign policy, winner known, impeachment trial. We have the polls are wrong. Okay, that's good news. And I'm falling between foreign policy and winner known. So we really don't know who the winner is going to be. That's why the polls are here. It said the polls are wrong. We have the drug and alcohol addiction. It's reversed, and it says shadow government, New World Order. We have here nothing evil here, secret society, Illuminati, deep state. And then we also have the electoral college. It's reversed. We have protests and riots, Black Lives Matter, social issues, COVID vaccine, stuff like that. So what it is talking to me right now is talking about the potentiality that in the future, I just say it's possible that we have some sort of uproar. I just say this on my channel before that there could be potentially a civil war in the United States or some sort of revolution or whatever it is. It may not be physical arm fighting, it could be spiritual fighting, it could be verbal fighting. There's some other methods that could be used. But again, no matter what it is, there's going to be protests and riots, and it has to do with the government. And I did say that in the past that people are going to start rebelling, and particularly when it comes to the FBI raid. So if you've not watched my Trump FBI raid, part 1, definitely take a look at that. I'll put that in the video description below in the comment section, and you can watch that video where I talk about the FBI and people teaming up, regardless of whether or not they agree or disagree with Trump being raided by the FBI. So the cards here that we got here, both Liz Cheney become Madam President. We do have we have to start from this side because this is where it was before. So we had this. Oops, shit. Excuse me. We had repulsive leaders reversed. We have leans Republican. Right? We're talking about the national become Madam President. I feel like she actually might be Speaker in the future of something. We do have here, though, this card was reversed. It was Vice President originally, but it was this way. But it was really President. So we do have leading President. So it is possible that she will become Madam President in the future. Maybe not in 2024, but in the future, she may become President. But it's also possible that she becomes Vice President and become President. So keep that in mind. But we do have here, this card was reversed. It was a Republican president and it was reversed. But we had, at the same time period, we had a Democrat. So it's possible that she runs with a Democrat on the political ticket, that she is a vice president nominee for a Democratic Party ticket. It is possible that that's what happened. Because we do have here, we do have the electoral vote margin. That if she was to decide to run by herself, the electoral vote amount that she would get will be 0 to 313, right? She would not get a lot of electoral votes, right? Remember, I told you that before. That, if she was running, she'll get a lot of electoral votes. But if she was to run by herself, independent, she'll only get 0 to 13 electoral votes, so she won't be able to really get any votes. But also keep in mind as well that she could deadlock the Electoral College if the Electoral College is closed. So keep that in mind. We do have here unsolved mysteries: Atlantis, Egypt, Bermuda Triangle, dinosaurs. Unsolved mystery. Don't know what that means, so I'm just not even going to be able to read that until I know the whole context. We do have Great Depression, unstable economy, corporate greed, unemployment. So unemployment is extremely high at this point. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be looking for other alternative methods besides, your typical Democrat, Republican. We do have Speaker of the House. I just say there's a possibility that she becomes Speaker of the House and then works her way up to the presidency. Just like General Ford did when he became president and was the first Speaker of the House to ever become president of the United States. So we do have here the majority leader. We do have Nancy Pelosi, House of Representatives, and we do have here minority leader. So she could possibly make it up in the future, a long time in the future. And we do have here personal favors, illegal donation. So will she become Madam President? It's confusing. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint it, but based on what I got in other cards and other readings in today's video, I will probably say yes as of now. Things can change in the future. The cards are not set in stone. It's just the current energy and where we're going. It appears likely that she would be. Our last question of the day, and I promise you the video is over. Okay. How will Liz Cheney be remembered decades from now? Who is Liz Cheney? That's the question that we're going to really find out. Because the only way you're really going to be able to realize who Liz Cheney is, particularly when you ask the question, oh, what is Liz Cheney going to do in the future? The best question to really ask is after their death. I'm not saying I'm wishing her death or anything like that, but the best time to really look is how that individual is remembered. How are they reminded? How are they talked about in the media, in the social media? How are they remembered? How are they known by? What are they known by? And that's the best way to know what they might be able to do in the current life while they're still alive. Okay, I'm going to use this deck. What will Liz Cheney be remembered for? Who is Liz Cheney after she passes away? What will her legacy be? Okay, so this woman is a fighter. I can tell you that right off the bat. We have here government. She's known, one of her policies, one of the legacies that she's going to be known for is taking down the system that created us, taking down the machine that allowed Trump to be what he is. We have here stop. It's reverse. And it's telling me here being able to stop the power of corruption. We have here not backing down, not surrendering, even when things get hard. We have here number 8, understanding democracy and what it means to be an American. This is talking about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. We do have here is stopping unhappy people who are not there mentally, right? Stopping people of creating restriction, preventing people from going in. So I would not be surprised that even after Trump, she's gonna starting to stop other people as well. It is 111 angel number, by the way, for this thing. We do have here underneath stop. She's also going to stop people from winning. It's also possible that she does have some major lawsuits, but she always comes back and fights and fights and fights, and that's what people really admire about her. Underneath this note, not surrendering card, we do have the Happy New Year. It is telling me that her life is going to be very difficult, but she's not going to let that get in the way of fighting for what is right. We do have here underneath this the Declaration of Independence. She is going to lose, but people will admire her. She'll be like almost like the mother figure. It's almost like it's actually angel number 4444 on my thing. But anyway, besides the point, what's really interesting though about Liz Cheney, at least what I see here, is that even though people are going to kind of hate her and stuff like that, she's going to be remembered positively long term. People are going to wish they appreciated what she did while she was still alive, and they wish they could tell her that. We do have here underneath the unhappiness, we do have yellow, which is caution, warning people what to come and telling them to be careful, not to be kind of like mesmerized by what is going on. One of the things that she won't be remembered for is having a landslide, like doing very well in the electoral vote count. Spirit and angel, anything else that Liz Cheney will be remembered by? Who is Liz Cheney? After she passes away, what is her legacy in the future? What is Liz Cheney's legacy? Okay, what I heard was her community and bringing people together no matter who and what they are. I do feel like she's going to be able to kind of unite immigrants and Americans together. She's going to really remind them who and what it means to be an American. I'm saying no to corporate greed. This is green, by the way. I'm saying no to greed. And because of her, she's going to kind of balance out the United States. She's going to put the United States back on a better path. So in terms of what Liz Cheney is going to be remembered for, I think the bottom of the deck really described it. She'll be remembering for saving mankind. So who's Liz Cheney? Kind of the person who helped the United States. She basically becomes Abraham Lincoln of our time. So, yeah, so that will be the final takeaway. I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let me know in the comment section below what you think of today's video. I thought this was really interesting and unique. Not what I expected at all, but then again, it was different. So I do hope you guys liked this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Love you.